Alright, hello. Let's get right into it. So, this is a comprehensive Huskar guide. There will be every single thing that you could possibly need to know will likely be in this guide. If not, leave a comment, it'll be in the comment section. Alright, so let's just get started by the basics of Huskar, alright? Inner fire. Let's see this whole big thing. In a fiery range, knocks all enemies away from you a fixed distance, dealing damage and disarming them. This ability is a very good laning ability for mid laners because it allows you to secure the range group. It's also a very good oh shit button. When a lot of heroes are around you, you click this button and it gives them knockback and make sure that none of them can attack you. It's very good early game. BKBs, you have to use it a little better. Um, its damage is kind of mad. You pretty much only use it uh, when someone gets on top of you somehow and you're trying to get away. You don't use it aggressively too much unless they try and man up on you. But most people run away because Huskar is big scary. Next ability is Burning Spears. This is your biggest damage dealing ability and your ability to maintain low health for a majority of the game. This ability um, is your main tool to at least go even in every mid lane, because anytime a hero tries to trade with you and they kill you, when they man up on you, they're probably gonna be dying to spears, because it does 5 damage per stack at level 1 for 8 seconds. That's 40 magic damage, reduced by 25% magic resist is like 32 damage. But and then it doubles from level 1 to 2, from like 32 damage from one spear to 64. So it's really quite an amazing ability to level and lane with when you're mid lane. I'll also be going over Jungle Huskar, which is actually, it's been done in a pro match before. It's not too much of a meme. I do it with pretty good success, but I also almost only do non-ranked, so I don't know, when I'm having fun. Uh, so yeah, this is your damage ability, which combos well with your next ability, Berserker's Blood. Now this is what determines your uh, entire kit. Everything you build, you do, is based around your passive, like most heroes. This is kind of garbage, level 1, alright? It gives you about the regen less than a tango in the lane. So I almost never level it first, and then when I do level it, I'll usually put 2 points into it after that. Depends on it depends. The attack speed you get from it at level 1 is very nice though. It's just the regen that is mediocre. Yeah, so any items you buy, you keep this in mind because it's all about your strength, not your max HP, your strength. So don't buy any tinky items that only require vitality booster, right? You need the Reaver, the Ograx, Gauntlets, whatever. You need strength on this hero. Strength is the most important part because armor doesn't increase this, magic resist doesn't increase this. While Hood is sometimes good and sometimes you can buy AC, depending on the match, but you need tankiness equals strength items almost always. Um, and then finally, uh, your ultimate. Now this is quite an interesting ability. It can be used a lot of different ways. Uh, oh shit button. It's mostly his dispel, obviously, and it's mostly his engage though. His You jump on someone and you're stronger than them. With this, you kill them because it deals 32% of their max HP as soon as you engage with them, which is great. It immediately makes you low health, so you get a lot of attack speed from this, right? It immediately slows them by 60% for 3, 4, 5 seconds, which is awesome. So no heroes without a disengage are dead to you every single time. Um, and the best part that is almost always overlooked is its dispel, and while leaping, Huskar is spell immune. So you can use this ability to dodge a lot of abilities early game that would otherwise kill you. Best examples are like Drow's Gust or any stun like lions. You run up to them being scary, they're gonna be like, oh shit, he's gonna jump on me. Let me cast my ability, and then if you time it right, you'll be able to get on them, and they won't be able to do shit anymore, right? Like Drow, she's gonna see you, probably gonna gust. That's when you jump. So this is a great ability for that, which makes you an excellent ganker once you get a haste rune mid. You should almost always gank with Huskar because as soon as he has 6, because it's so valuable, so valuable. Um, we will go over mid lane, how you want to play mid lane. It depends on the matchup, honestly. Um, uh, what I like to do a lot is level probably one in spears, another knee, another W, another knee, or that's if I think I'm gonna win the lane. If it's like almost any melee hero mid, or um, I don't know, if you're confident and you're against a Wind Ranger, maybe Necrophos isn't too bad. Until he's 6, of course. But we'll talk about every single hero specific matchup in this video later. Um, yeah, so you either go one. My level 6 looks like a 1, 3, 1, 1. Bum bum. So that is how I play the mid lane in a winning matchup. If you think you're gonna do well, uh, if you're gonna lose or just come out even, you don't think it's like Shadow Fiend is terrible because if you're low health, he just kills you instantly with triple raise, right? Or just 2 raises usually enough because your passive doesn't give magic resist anymore like it used to. Uh, so yeah, Shadow Fiends. Um, Void Spirit can sometimes be annoying because he can just dodge all your shit, so you can't really do anything against him, and his taunt into dash and whatnot can kill you. Storm Spirit may be a little annoying. Storm Spirit's not that bad until he gets ulti. But anyway, sorry, rambling. But yeah, if you think you're bad, Q first, um, 2 points into E, and then you can max spear. Uh, or E. Usually I like to you can't leave space for too long. It's so much value. So much value. Uh, so if you're just picking Huskar to learn him, and you pick him last, and you accidentally get counter picked or whatnot, yeah, Q first to secure range creep, and get your E. Max your E. Um, Huskar's one of his biggest strengths that is overlooked is his jungling potential. With this and an armlet, which is you will be getting almost every single time on Huskar. You can easily jungle ancient camps from level. You can jungle ancient camps as soon as you get your armlet. You can Roshan as soon as you get your armlet. Armlet is the timing. Your only goal from minute 0 till armlet is armlet. Alright? You can buy bracers at the start and like start with Tango, Gauntlet, whatever. The only reason you're doing that is so you can survive the lane, not get killed, so you don't miss CS and you don't ruin your armlet timing, right? Every single thing you do in this game until you get armlet is accelerate your timings towards armlet, right? Because armlet is the bread and butter of Huskar, and if you're good at toggling, it's OP. Even if you're not, all you do this is how you play Huskar. Ready? Enemy here, click armlet. It's that easy. So you still have a majority of your health, and they have way less of theirs, right? You still have, see, if you see, unless you're like really low health like I am, most of the time when you activate Armlet, it actually, the proportion of your health doesn't go up that much, but the total health you have, like, depending on your level, like triples, doubles, increases, right? So, your armlet is really great, and it adds 35, 55 damage. Oh no, excuse me. 60 damage, 4 armor, and okay, hold on. Let's rephrase this. Passively, just all the time. 15 damage, 25 attack speed, 6 armor, 5 HP regen. Everything about that you adore. 15 damage is very good because every single damage you get is increased dramatically because of your insane attack speed that you'll be having. Attack speed is always just nice. Armor is super key on Huskar because there's not a lot of good armor items for you to buy in this game. They're all pretty awkward. Uh, Best you'll get is AC, maybe S and Y. So armor is super key on Huskar because of high physical damage carries can pose a serious threat, especially once you get BKB. And HP regen is super nice early game when you're probably not going to have this maxed because you want a lot of points in spirits to kill your enemies, right? And then when it's active, you gain an additional 35 damage plus 25 strength and 4 more armor, right? So when you activate this, you instantly get 500 health and 35 plus 25 damage, so 60 extra damage and 4 more armor. So you become a plus 10 armor as soon as you activate armor, which is absolutely bonkers if you get this early. No one has that kind of armor, right? Because of the speed that Huskar can farm, it's absolutely broken. Um, all right, so we'll finish off abilities now. I kind of went on a tangent there. All right, this is kind of items. We'll finish off talents. I don't really think you should ever get attributes unless you have them on Huskar. I know it's kind of meta on like Gyro for a little bit, Jug maybe, Dusa maybe, Drown maybe, but nah, attributes are just not that useful compared to all. You want to have all these abilities maxed as soon as possible. Talents, level 10, that's pretty close, but because I almost always get Ags, the plus 1 second inner fire duration is uh, almost doubles. It's about an increase of about 75% of the duration from the 1.75 L1, because you're gonna have this at one point, no matter how your mid lane went. There's no way you're getting more than 1 point in this queue. So at level 10, it's gonna nearly double your inner fire's awesomeness, your disarm duration, and it's super useful. Especially because you're also probably gonna get your shard. So I would almost always go inner fire duration. Level 15 talent, pretty close. The only notable things are if you know you're gonna go Burning Spear's pure damage and like know it's gonna go late, you should probably take the Burning Spear CPS. That's less important. The more important thing is the 15% lifesteal is very strong for fighting. It usually gives you that edge to just stay alive just a little bit longer. If you know the team has a ton of CC and your lifesteal is not going to be your main thing, your main thing is just going to be trying to get as tanky as possible this game, uh, then yeah, you can go for the Burning Spear CPS because then you get a couple attacks in and then you CC'd and then you're fine. But yeah, I usually go for the lifesteal. Almost always go 15% lifesteal because the Spear's DPS increases that by about what is that, 20%? Where the lifesteal is super good for you, especially because you're probably gonna go Satanic. And I mean Sange first. Satanic it's later. Sange and that'll increase the lifesteal. Level 20 talent. Um, this one's a close one. This one is almost perfectly 50-50. But the only reason I would probably say if you're in a default the same build every single time, I would choose the Berserker's Blood Regen. Because it basically negates any item they get against you. It almost negates any item they get against you. Like all the main items when they think besides Silver Edge are Vessel, Lifesteal and Spell Imp, uh, uh, yeah, it reduces HP regeneration, healing, Lifesteal and Spell Lifesteal with 45%, plus 30% Berserker's Blood Regen makes it only 15% reduction. I think Shiva's is very similar. 40%. Oh no, 25%. Yeah, so it completely negates Shiva's. Scotty. That's what I was just thinking about. Yeah, reduced by 40%, so it's only 10% reduction with that talent, right? But the reason why that is highly contested is because the 3-second life break cooldown cuts the cooldown by a third, right? Which is insane, especially because Ags is very core on Huskar right now. Um, the Ags makes it so a 3-second taunt is applied to the enemy, right? So you're gonna have 3 seconds to disable and only 6 seconds of cooldown to make that come back up. Especially if it's a long fight, fights are drawn out, which is what Huskar loves, by the way. Huskar loves drawn out fights. Uh, it's super good. The ability to cast life break multiple times in a fight is what saves you from is what can win you fights by itself, having this talent or not. Because the ability to dodge spells once they think you've committed everything. Yeah, if you think about it, you life break 3 seconds, you BKB after that 3 seconds, they only have about 1 second of not spell immune you to cast spells on, right? Which is super useful. Um, and then level 25 talents doesn't really matter that much because Huskar is does not scale. He scales well because he can jungle fast, but the effectiveness of the anti-healing late into the game can really hurt you because you're very kiteable. It's very hard to deal with all the anti-heals and the silver edges and such when the game gets later. And when sports have a bunch of escape items, which is why you get Ags, so you can scale. But yeah, level 25, um, I would pretty much always take Burning Spear's pure damage because pierces spell immunity. That little eye right there makes it so that no one can escape your wrath. It easily 20 pure damage times, what is that, 8 is 160 damage every single time you attack when you're attacking probably 3 times a second, every single, every 3 times a second in every fight, right? You're gonna be low on health, which is just absolutely amazing for you. That's stupid amounts of damage pumped out that they just watch their health whittle away. Shreds even the mightiest of tanks, right? Yeah, so I almost always go Burning Spear pure damage, but if you're doing, I don't know, if for some reason that you always seem to not kill people by about 20% of their health, there you go. That just adds a lot more burst to your build if you want to see if you can kill someone if you really need to kill someone in 3 seconds because of your axe. That's the talent I would go if you really need a burst. All right. So now let's talk about items. I'll do first the one besides armlet. Do these two right here. Shard, super important. This shard is absolutely stupid on Huskar right now. Okay, because the inner fire to play 40% movement speed slow and heal Huskar for 50% of the damage dealt to heroes. Those cooldown by 3 seconds can be cast while disabled. There is so much, so much to unpack here. First, we'll do line by line. Cause Infire to cause a 40% movement speed slow and heal for Huskar. Okay, 40% movement speed slow. Stop there. Let's mix it so that every single melee carry without a uh, BKB, uh, without a blink, without I don't know. It makes it so that they now have to just either very slowly walk away from you or very slowly walk back towards you while you spit them down with a shit ton of burning spirits damage. And okay, so the slow is awesome. The heal, all right, is the save, right? You're like, why would you heal on Huskar? Burst healing sucks, right? I never take cheese on Huskar because you usually just die from 500 to 0, right? Wrong, actually. Because of the 50% heal, 50% damage to heal, well, how much damage is it? 310? So that's about 150, 130 damage per hero. 100, 260 bonus healing on what is that, an 8-second cooldown is great for Huskar because it is a huge, huge bait. When you know that you're about to be in range for a Laguna, for a Finger, for a Slice, for stuns, and they're just whamming on you, a racing crit's coming, you just press Q. You just press Q, and you're healed, and you survive. And then your health regen gets you up higher, and now they don't have spells to kill you for full 0 anymore, right? They have to be able to burst you, and once they burst, they use their burst spells, and you can survive it with this Huskar heal, with this Innerfire heal. That allows you to win most fights, right? And it can be cast while disabled. Obviously, that just makes the heal so much better. You're stunned, you're black hold, you're racing stunned, you're whatever, line stunned, fingered, shackled. Doesn't matter because you can't survive it with a disarm and a heal from everyone around you, right? So it really fucks the whole. It's a combo breaker. It's a combo breaker because the pushback can really screw you. Can really screw the enemy team and fuck up their whole PA blink crit shaman hex yada yada yada. OD hammer, right? You're stunned. That means easy kill. Wrong, wrong. They're all screwed now. Ags forces enemy target to attack Huskar and increases cast range. Let's see by exactly how much range. So you see there, it reaches just about that tree. Ag scepter, all the way to the creep wave, right? That's crazy amount. That is easily, without it, you have to. They will clearly. It's very hard to gank someone with this. Very hard to surprise people, to catch people, because almost every spell cast range is greater than this. A bunch of supports are gonna have Aether Lens. It's gonna be very hard to get people with this. With this cast range, you can very easily cast it on people before they're able to cast the spell. And their reaction time has to be really good because if they even wait a second before you're spell immune that whole time traveling, you're spell immune that whole time traveling. So if they cast a spell while you're in air, even better. And they can do nothing. As soon as you cast this on anyone, they're alone. If you cast this on anyone with the eggs, they're going to die because there is nothing that they can do. Because while you're in the air, you're spell immune, and there's very little spells that they're going to try and use on you in midair. And as soon as you land, uh, you taunt them. So they just have to sit there and watch you pelt them with 100 attacks from Berserker's Blood during Burning Spears Amp. Yeah, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do. Yags is by far the best item on you besides Armlet. So you should try and strive to get it every single game. I would say probably third item. Solid third item. well, if Armlet's your first item, Ag's your third item. What's the middle item? Easy. Every single game, it's Sange. You can upgrade it, but it doesn't. It kind of game dependent on which one you upgrade it to. But let's just give you the Sanj base stats. Its strength, its status resistance, and its self HP and regen and lifesteal amp. All of those things are absolutely ideal and perfect on Huskar and cannot be gotten anywhere else, right? 16 strength is not easy to accumulate with items besides just spamming Reavers, right? The amount of strength a slot is limited to a couple items. Ineffectiveness, right? It's what is that? The third best strength per slot item in the game, right? It is or fourth best because of blink. But yeah, Sanj is great for the strength. The status resistance is beautiful. You can't get that on any other item in the game, and it's the number one thing that kills, or number two probably, thing that kills Huskar is disables, because you can't hit people's spears and lifesteal while you're disabled, right? So that gives you tons of survivability, and the regen and lifesteal amp is bonkers, absolutely bonkers. Just makes this from 80% max regen to 96% max strength regen. So you're going from, well, my max is like 80 or like 70 regen right now to about 90, which is absolutely the life-changing difference, especially into the late game. And as soon as you get the item, it's just a gigantic power spike. You have two major power spikes coming up. Armlet is very good because it allows you to burst people and be hard to kill, but it still drains your life. It's not easy, even with max. You see, and an axe, it's hard for me to keep up. I drain for a while, and eventually, let's see, uh, it's pretty annoying to have to keep this up. But as soon as you get your Sanj, boom, look at that, just increased by 20 points at midlife, and now I'm taking this tower just fine, right? No difference. It's absolutely insane the difference Sanj makes for power spike timing. And, um, Sun is a must have every single game. Like Armlet, if you get counterpicked by AA in the last round, very unluckily, Armlet, you actually should not go Armlet. That's a one instance case. But Sanj, you should go every single game. Because it is perfect for your entire kit. Then Ags. This is your first three items pretty much every single game. Uh, there are some exceptions I will get into with when I'm talking about heroes. Alright. Some other mentions. I'll just do SNY versus Halberd, pretty basic. Halberd I go for more often. If I don't just leave it bare, sometimes I just naked Sanj. Uh, Halberd I would go for majority of the time because evasion is broken. It makes you so much more survivable because it's hard to build armor, and evasion is just better armor. Increase status resist by a little bit, never bad. Increase strength by a little bit, never bad. And the disarm is used to counter all sorts of bullshit that would otherwise cause you major problems, like drow and sniper, any shadow fiend that would just melt you otherwise with their insane amount of armor corruption. You can now just disarm and then ult and safely beat the shit out of. SNY, it would be like, it gives slightly more status resist. Uh, and it's the most amount of stats resist you can get in a game from an item right now, which is just awesome. If they have a Shadow Shaman or a Lion, and you don't want to go BKB for some reason, or your BKB can be late, I don't know what the deal is. It gives a little bit of armor, because of the agility, makes you attack a little bit faster, it gives you some movement speed. If you're having a lot of trouble catching, you can get this item. And if they don't have any ranged carries, you can forego the halberd, unless maybe it's like a Sven and he's like destroying your team. Uh, you can get the S and Y if there's no ranged carries on their team. Because halberd, if you don't know, is 5 seconds for range and 3 seconds for melee. And because melees normally go like S and Y, it's really like 2 seconds for melee and 3 seconds and 5 seconds for ranged. So I almost never get halberd if I'm against only melee carries. And I just leave it bare Gus and Y. Don't get Kai Assange unless you're memeing with life break damage build. Some honorable mentions, treads. You buy them whenever you want to buy boots. I usually, I don't know. I've been changing my build around recently, but this is a tough one because it gives a ton of strength with a low amount of and movement speed, which you very much need to be able to gank effectively in the early game and to just do well because movement speed is super important. But armlet is such a gigantic, huge timing early game that sometimes I just skip boots entirely until I have armlet, and then get boots, and then the rest of the items. Um, but yeah, I would say depending on the game, depending on what you feel after a couple games of Huskar, but I would say usually armlet then boots. Bracers, you go this if uh, you feel like it. It's not really that good to go bracers anymore in Huskar because it gives HP regen instead of magic resist. Magic resist I would almost always get 2 or 3 in every lane, but now it just gives the normal amount of strength you would have from these two items. Doesn't increase that at all anymore. You don't need intelligence because you have one spell that costs mana, and you don't need that tiny amount of damage that you're going to get rid of in a couple slots, right? So you can go Bracer if you really want to snowball, because it does give you strength for cheap, so it's nice. But I don't really go Bracers anymore. It's better to just get a Helmet of Iron Will as fast as possible for your armlet. Um, Hooded Defiance, so it's matchup specific, but if you know that they just have a shit ton of magic damage, especially burst magic damage like Lion or Alina, you can buy this to outplay them easier without needing to use your life break to time it perfectly, and to give some more survivability. It'd be pretty rare instance that this is better than a strength item, but it does happen against matchups with a lot of magic damage, especially the burst kind, like I mentioned, and Necrophos, Lion, those kinds. Leshak is good against, but that's what this item is for. BKB. Yeah, my description on this is actually not that bad. If they have a lot of lockdown, you can't. You're going Huskar. The ideal Huskar experience is this: is that they're creeps. All they can do is attack you and do nothing while you beat the living shit out of them, right? So in the ideal Huskar game, you don't need a BKB, but you can make it an ideal Huskar experience by going BKB. So they can't do anything while you spam spears at them. Uh, so if they have like one hero that you know that if you jump in and they catch a spell on you, you'll die, get BKB. If you ever get BKB in Huskar and don't use it immediately after going in, then you got it in the wrong kind of game, right? Um, Satanic, that's just insane, right? Lifesteal on your hero is insane because it just increases your sustain dramatically. 200% can bring you back up into a fight. When they get you low, they use a lot of burst spells. You just make it so it takes much, much longer. So they either have to save all their spells, taking a lot longer for them to kill you, or be forced to use them to bring you down low. So then you can just kill them all anyway, right? The Dispel is great if they have any annoying roots that you can't get out of. The annoying Vessel, especially Vessel. Super good if all they have is Silver Edge and not a ton of lockdown, because then you can just Satanic through the Silver Edge and be fine. Heart, alright. It's the best strength item per slot, right? It's the best strength item. If you're going super late game on Huskar, you'll need a heart. The major downside of heart is that it uh, it decreases your farming speed severely, and your out of fight attack speed is always going to be really bad because the amount of regen it gives you passively is just super dumb. So that your spears can't even make you low anymore. That same problem as lifesteal, which is why I normally don't get lifesteal items too early. Usually this is enough to keep you decently low while farming, even so. Um, yeah. Um, Honorable mentions. MKBs is kind of a bait. Your high attack speed hero, yes, but every single item you get should be based around your passive and surviving until you win the game. Uh, Almost no items should be for damage because your spears give you plenty of damage. They give you stupid amount of damage. Your armlet gives you a ton of damage. Every single strength item you get gives you damage. Just you do not need AMKB. You don't need any damage items. You really, really don't. Basher, kind of a meme, but you can get it if you want to because your high attack speed is actually not that bad. Lance is pretty good. You can disassemble it into BKB if you wanted. Um, I don't really find it that useful because you have this, and if they're in attack range, they're in life break range, so there's no point. Um, Nothing else is that good. Glycan, no, no, don't get. Just stick to. There's very few items. Heart of Taraz, AC, Shivas maybe. Don't get Blade Mail. Blade Mail is such a huge bait. Do not get Blade Mail. Please do not. They'll ignore you and brush you down way harder. Hooded Defiance. Yeah, I get such a small amount of armor. It's such a bait. Do not get Blade Mail under any circumstance. No matter how awesome you think it would be to get Blade Mail, like there's a Wind Ranger, Drow, Sniper, fucking bullshit. Just get a Halberd. There's a lion you want to kill with the thing. You're a Scarith Mage. Just get Satanic and Life Break. Like, do not get Blade Mail. Do not get Blade Mail. There are no circumstances you should get Blade Mail. It's a bait. Guys, it's a bait. Trust me. Trust me, it's a bait. Um, yeah. Everything I have here is core. Hooded Defiance. Yeah, alright. Now, this is the main chunk of the video. Let's see if I can, uh, okay. Nothing. Alright. Um, let's get into every single matchup Huskar has. I don't think I'm going to timestamp every single hero, but I'll timestamp when this starts. So, hello. Abaddon. Um, Nothing you need to worry about here. None of Abaddon's abilities are very useful. You can still build up stacks on him with borrowed time, so don't be afraid to attack him if, you know, your stupid teammates are going to hit him in borrowed time anyway. Your spears will instantly burn him down afterwards. Shield doesn't dispel anything but your disarm. Yeah, you do have to be worried about the shield because um, uh, it stops your slow and your disarm, and I think your Ag's taunt. I'm not. No, it does not. Okay, but it does stop the slow and your disarm. So careful if they have an Abaddon and you try to do the combo, they might just get saved and walk away scot free, right? Next is Alchemist. Alchemist kind of trash right now, but general, he's pretty trash against you because he doesn't really have disable, and you can easily dodge his W with your ult. He does build Silver Edge though, so you do have to kind of be careful of that. Um, Silver Edge is the hardest to deal with on Huskar. Basically, all you can do is once you know they have a Silver Edge, is just make sure you have your shard, and you can possibly, if they're really shitting on you because of it, you can get a Yule's if you need to. Usually Satanic by that time and Shard are plenty to get you through a Silver Edge. And if your team are just fucking retarded, then they won't help you and you'll die. But Silver Edge is just kind of a deal with it kind of thing. His armor reduction is kind of meh. Axe, very dangerous early because of his ultimate obviously kills you when you're low health. His spin is pure damage, and you attack hella fast right next to him. So Axe is pretty bothersome. Bill's blade mail. Blade mail counters a shot at you. Do not attack someone's blade mail on, or you will kill yourself, guaranteed. You don't know how much damage you deal to yourself till you fucking kill yourself and blade mail 3 times in a row. Right? It's insane. Um, his calls, BKB piercing, disable, sucks for you. So yeah, Axe is one to look out for. Don't pick into him if you don't have to. Beastmaster Roar is not that huge deal because it has status resistance and it's it's his ultimate, right? So he's not gonna be sparing that on you like Axe, and nothing else he really does is very good against you. Brewmaster is absolutely garbage. The only thing that you have to watch out for is if he starts putting you up in the air every fight, um, kill him first with Ags because his insane amount of disable he can offer in spirit form is very annoying. But if he does not have spirit form, he is the easiest kill of your entire life. Bristleback, gotta be careful. That grill's damage sneaks up on you. If you just spam hitting him from the back, you will kill your entire team and then you, right? But he usually does die to you, especially because you have Ags. He'll have to face you, and then he just melts. You have no idea how much easier Bristlebacks are to kill if they just face you. So entire retaliate can be a bit annoying, but you're never gonna lane against him, so it's a point. He built the Blade Mail, so don't attack him. His W is a lot of damage, but not like anything else, so I wouldn't worry about Suntai too much. CK's crits and stuns can be kind of annoying, but he is a strength hero. Uh, with his ulti can burst you. Yeah, he can burst you. He has armor reduction in his W and his ulti, but luckily he can't BKB all of his illusions. So you just press your Q, kill all his illusions, or spam kill him. It doesn't matter. Disarming his illusions for 5 seconds should be just fine. You should survive if it's just CK. Um, And if his team is there, then your team will be there, and then it's up to the scenario, right? So don't be too worried about him. Clockwork is annoying, don't hit him when he's in blade mail, but you can just R out of cogs or just attack his cogs because your attack speed is insanely high. He's not that annoying. Dawnbreaker can bait you, but she's not that annoying either. Her escape isn't that good, so you can just run her down. Doom is not that annoying because it doesn't break you. If you get his Ags, you should be scared because then you're kind of fucked. But because it doesn't break you, uh, you can usually survive through it. DK, his Q is mediocre. He doesn't do anything against you. Don't worry about him. His stun is long, but it's fine. Earth Spirit can escape you. It's kind of until you get Ags. He's kind of hard to kill. Don't worry about him though. Magnetize doesn't do enough to you. Earthshaker can kill you with an echo, so be careful. His stun locking is absolutely brutal to play against if he's good. Blink, W, what's it called? Uh, Fissure, Echo, W. Stupid amount of CC and damage. Uh, Other Titan can one punch you. Do not mess with an ET. If he has a lot of stacks, he will beat the shit out of you. IO. Uh, He's trash. I don't know. He can get away from Tether. Nothing you can do. Kunkka builds Silver Edge a ton. You gotta be careful when playing against him to make sure you know where he is. His boat makes his teammates survive way longer, so it's very hard to burst people when Kunkka's ult Ghost Ship is down because of his stupid rum bonus. Elsie builds Blade Mail can duel you and disable your Burning Spears while she's being shot at you with Blade Mail, so Elsie's mage or no. It's one of the ones you might have to build Lincolns against. Lestial is trash against you, his Rage blocks your spears, but he can't kill you in his Rage, so you don't have a problem. Like in this armor reduction is kind of annoying, and if he's ahead of you, he can be scary in the early game, but he's not too hard to deal with your inner fire. Magnus RP, BKB piercing disable can displace you. It's kind of annoying, but that's just RP. It's not Huskar specific. Mars, you can jump out of arena with your R, so it's not a big problem. Night Stalker, silences are pretty annoying if he's on top of you, because everything is disabled and you can't interfere even with your shard while he's on you. But you can just hit him. If you have BKB, just hit him and he dies. Omni Knight's trash hero right now. I'm not he's trash against you. He's trash. Phoenix, Egg's not a big deal. With your high attack speed, um, you can dispel all of her shit, so it's not a big deal. Her W, if she's just melting you from with her sunray beam, it's kind of annoying, but you should be able to be okay. Pudge Hook in the early game could definitely burst you, so be very careful. Sand King, he's trash against you. Uh, don't don't have to worry about him at all, unless like Undying with an ulti gets caustics next to your face, you'll be fine. Slardar is a huge danger. BKB piercing disable, a normal disable, and a ton of armor reduction on the low armor hero. Slardar sucks to play against. Do not do it if you don't have to. But luckily you do disarm him, which is where most of his damage and bash come from, so it's not horrible. You can outplay him. Snapfire, boom boom pow bow, armor reduction, same reason she'd be good against you, but she's a strength hero with not a lot of escape, so you should be fine. Spirit Breaker, BKB piercing disable, but he is okay. He built Silverage a lot though, so you have to be careful. Not a good matchup. Sven built Halberd, the one man hero. I'd probably built Halberd against maybe Wraith King, but it's pretty much only Sven. He's not very good against you because you can disarm him and then he runs at you and then you walk away, right? Um, Tidehunter, watch out for Ravage. I don't know what you want to say. Timbersaw, this one sucks. You might think it. When you think of Huskar counters, he might not jump to your mind. You might think of Lena, Lion, Necrophos, AA. Timbersaw is better than all of them, almost. AA is worse, but Timbersaw is worse than the second worst Huskar counter in the entire game because of his goddamn this thing. This thing destroys you. It absolutely murders you. It I can't this ability reduces your strength by 16% at max level. So it just destroys your damage probably about by 8% because about half your damage probably also going to come from spears. Cut your regen by 16%, your health regen by 16%. It cuts everything by 16% and all of his abilities are pure damage. So he can melt you, absolutely melt you. He can deal 200 damage when this hits you, he deals 200 when this hits you, he deals 200 in this. This is an extra 200 after he calls it back. This is like 800 freaking pure damage every fight with stat loss reduction, which is just brutal, especially if you're already taking damage. If you've already, it's terrible. If you've already taken damage and he reduces your stats, you couldn't see that. Look at that. Look at that health. He bursts you when you're low, like no other hero. It is horrible to play against Super Solid. Do not, at all costs, do not play against him if you can avoid it. If you do happen to play against him, you need Satanic to dispel the attribute loss. You need Satanic. You need status resistance to reduce the amount of attribute loss. You need um, status resistance, Satanic, Ags, so he can't keep passing on you. Dispel also. Definitely take the minus 3 second life break cooldown. Do not play against Superstar. It sucks ass. Okay, moving on. Tiny, not a big deal. Chant, not a big deal. Root, you can jump out of, so it doesn't matter. Tusk, physical damage. Walls punch can burst you. Don't worry about it. He's fine. Underlord, it's fine. His Q is annoying. His W is annoying, but he's fine. Undying can steal your strength, which is kind of annoying, but until you get to Ags, not really that big a deal. Not like Timbersaw. Wraith King, fine. He's actually really good to go against because you just melt him. You melt him twice. Am annoying because he can escape you and reflect your shit. Uh, and blink out when you disarm him. Melt your already pretty low mana pool. Kind of annoying. Arc Warden is a late game hero. You win him. You win the game if you end before 30. You lose the game if it goes beyond 40. Bloodseeker, another huge counter to Huskar because he sees you all the time. All the other lanes, whichever one he's in, if he's in off lane, he's in carry lane, he will always be a ton of movement speed and won't be able to be killed or be able to be stopped from destroying your lane. So do not play against Bloodseeker if you can help it. He also will see it when you're roaching because Huskar loves to do early roach because you can do it as soon as you get armor. So do not play against Bloodseeker if you don't have to. It makes your life hell. Also, Rupture sucks. Because if you jump on someone while you're ruptured, you die. Bunny Hunter, another big deal. Broodmother, fine, fine, fine. A Drow, you almost always need a Hubbard against, because her Gust, if you don't dodge it, is brutal. Her slows are brutal, and you need a BKB. You BKB Hubbard against Drow, guaranteed. Ember, fine. You need Dispel for his roots. Fist Sword is not that bad, because you can, if you have Shard, you can click it while you're in Chrono. Gyrocopter, not that bad. Hoodwink, not that bad. Juggernaut, not that bad. Lone Druid, nothing to do. Luna, nothing. Her ulti with Ags will kill you frickin' so fast, so do not get caught in that. Oh wow, I didn't even notice. I'll just do the rest of the analysis on the heroes page. Um, no, no big deal. Medusa's Ags and Stone Gaze increase physical damage dealt against you, so it's pretty annoying to play against her if she gets her Ags. Mapo's shit, Murano's shit, unless she gets a full ammo arrow on you. Or they double star in the very early game can be annoying to gank against. Hard to deal with. Monkey King sucks because his Jingu is better than you, and he can burst you pretty well if he has the right items. But if it's basically whoever has more gold, because if you're stronger than him, you win the trade. If he's stronger than you, he wins the trade. You can also jump on him while he's in a tree. It's pretty interesting, and they cut it down with a cling blade if you have one. Morphling, he's pretty hard to catch. He's pretty annoying to play against. But when you have Axe, and if he's edgy shifted, you kill him. Naga Riptide reduces your armor, and Song is pretty annoying because it can set up on you. Nyx doesn't break anymore, so he's shit. Pango disarms you, so that's pretty annoying. But you got a BKB, PA bursts you, so you need Halberd, and your Shard for sure. PL annoying, but your Shard can shift out the right one, and if you lock on the right one, it's pretty annoying for PL to deal with. You guys can't really kill each other, but if you get lucky, he'll die. Also, if you get a single Burning Spear on him, and he W's, you'll now instantly know which one's the right one. So he's not that bad. It sounds pretty bad, but it's not that bad. Razor, pretty annoying to lane against because of his W and makes your trades suck dick, but he's fine in the late game. Rookie can escape, annoying. Shadow Fiend destroys you in the lane, but he's fine later. Slark, pretty annoying, but he's fine. The shot goes through his ulti. Sniper, get a halberd. Spectre. you have more farm than her, you're fine. Don't hit her once you get Blade Mail on. Templar Assassin is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Get a halberd. Terrorblade, get a halberd. Troll Warlord, get a don't get a halberd against Troll. Just press shard. Most trolls don't even know to press BKB and ulti, and if they do, they probably won't kill you because your team is there. Um, but yeah, you can get a halberd if you want. Ursa, same thing. Troll and Ursa are pretty annoying to play against, but they kill you. They will kill you before you kill them, which is very annoying. But both of them suffer from the same thing, is that if you both are hitting, they'll kill you first, and then you're probably gonna kill them with spears. So don't be too worried against them. Just make sure you have a team behind them. Don't try and 1v1 them, or you'll probably both end up dying every time. If you have more farm than them, you should be fine though. If they don't have BKB, you will also destroy them. If but pre BKB, you destroy them. After BKB, it's kind of either way. Actually, Ursa's a little bit worse than Troll. Pre BKB, you have to be ahead of him. Vent Spear reduces armor, puts you out of position. It's kind of annoying, but it's not that big deal. Veno, Dispel your shit, it doesn't matter. His ulti's kind of annoying because it does percent health, but it's fine. Viper, do not jump a Viper. Repeat, do not jump a Viper before he uses Nether Toxin. If he uses Nether Toxin on you and then you jump him, you will be just fine. I promise, okay? Just do not jump him or he will Nether Toxin you and then ult you and then beat you down and destroy you. Weaver, don't ulti Weaver, he'll kite you all the way back to no man's land. AA, for the love of holy Jesus, if you see an AA in your match, do not pick Huskar or you will cry yourself to sleep the same night, and for the following 2 nights, he will absolutely destroy you and make your life a living hell. For obvious reasons, I'm not even going to do it. If you see AA, cry yourself to sleep. If you sadly, they pick mid AA against you, you get counterpicked, whatever happens. Do not buy an armlet or you will kill yourself. You just rush a Sanj, you go tread, and you just play like a strength hero and don't go armlet. You pretty much have to sit outside of a fight till he uses his ulti, um, and wait till if he never uses it, never go in. I don't know what to tell you. You want to rush Ags almost like Sanj treads Ags and see if you can find him and kill him in every single fight. Always remember not to run in straight lines away from him towards your base. Yada yada yada. You'll die. Bane does pure damage. So he's pretty annoying to play against. Long ass disable. It's very annoying. Bane's pretty bad. Barret is pretty bad, but he's disabled not that long, so it's not that bad. Don't shard. It's pretty interesting interaction. If you have your shard and you have click inner fire while he laughs at you, you'll just get pushed in the same direction as him and making you even more out of position. So do not do that. Chen, easy peasy limit squeezy is trash. Steam is trash. Darkseid is trash because your Doppler can get fire. Willow, if she gets like Ags, Hyperstone, she can be quite a bother, but she's not that big a deal. Because you can disarm her in her realm. Dazzle's annoying to play against because sucks to have someone alive when your whole thing is bursting people. But if he's on your team, oh, hallelujah, praise the Lord, makes you unstoppable. Um, Disrupt, I get a BKB, Death Prophet. Um, get. She's pretty tough. She can sustain pretty hard and deal a lot of damage from Siphon and shit. So just be careful against Death Prophet. Make sure you have more farm than her. Enchantress, just jump on. She's not that bad. Her attack speed so doesn't even work against you because you're passive. Black Hole Midnight Pulse will destroy you, rip you apart, tear you to shreds. Enabling is a bad matchup. Grimstroke's not that bad, just hit a silence and you'll be fine. Invoker, his disarm pierces BKB, so he's very annoying to push against on Huskar. So he's not a good matchup. Jakiro is fine. Cuddle you destroy. As long as you don't get blasted. Leshrac is not that bad as long as you don't get soloed, edicted. Um, Lich, not that bad. Lena, get a hood. Lion, get a hood and a BKB. Outfit, you're fine. Necrophos, okay, this is very interesting interaction because a lot of people I talk about know when the first thing they think of as a counter to Huskar is AA Necrophos, right? I'm here to tell you that Necrophos does not counter Huskar. Alright? He is not that bad. He's probably, I would say, just as much as a counter as Lion, right? Because, just buy a hood. Just buy a hood. You outplay him and outplay him. If you buy a hood, you can jump on him and kill him very quickly, and hood reduces your without active, it reduces the health in order to kill you from like 40% to like 25%. And when your hood is active, you already need to be pretty much dead because it negates like all its damage. So Necrophos not that big a deal. Ogre Magi stuns are annoying if he gets you 4 times in a row, and then Ags you 4 times in a row. Then it's very annoying. He'll kill you, but it's fine. Oracle, if he's on your team, he's the best combo because of your healing is doubled when you're in his ulti, so you will never, ever, ever, ever die under Oracle ulti. Ever. Unless he ultis you at full health for some reason, like an idiot. Because whatever he ults you at is what your regen is the entire duration, and it's doubled. OD is annoying, but you can just jump on her and be fine. Puck is annoying because he can dodge your ulti with phase shift, so and this Puck, its ulti is pretty annoying, so trying to play against Puck. Puck knows it's pretty annoying, but you can pretty much rest him. He's not a big deal. Clop can escape, so not the kind of meh. Rubik's meh. Shadow Demon can break you, so reduce your amount of health by 20% or something absolutely ridiculous. So do not play against him if you don't have to. But he's not that terrible. Shadow Shaman always going first every fight. Silencer. Silence is annoying, but you'll be fine. Scarith Mage, Storm Spirit, Techies, they're all just a ton of magic damage. A ton of magic damage. I recommend BKB, it's guaranteed. Hood is nice. Tinker Laser sucks, but you can pierce it with your R, so it's not that big a deal. Visage, not even, I don't even know who that hero is. Sorry, that's a joke, but don't worry about him. Void Spirit has an escape and can dodge your ulti, so he's pretty annoying to play against. Warlock, you should on Warlock, he doesn't do anything. His golems are kind of annoying, but he doesn't do anything. Wind Ranger, this is the outplay. He's the number one most up and down mid matchup, probably because of the amount of outplaying each other you can do. It's pretty much just simple. You'll win the lane if you're better than her. You'll lose the lane if you're not. It's that simple. Alright. Break it down a little bit. Her ult, if she has a javelin, will murder you. But you have your Q. So you should be fine, but she has wind run, so she can evade it while you use your Q. Uh, and so she can escape. But you can slow her, so her wind run's kind of useless. Not that good against you. Um, Power shot can kill you with her shard, so it's kind of annoying. But in mid, all you gotta do, it's whoever has to use their survivability first loses. So if he one runs at you and ults you to try and kill you, you win. All you gotta do is ult her, start attacking her when her wind run runs out, when you're as low as possible. Not too low so she doesn't power shot you. But when you're low, just disarm and then beat the shot out of her. What she did. If you jump on her, she can just ult you, and if you disarm, she'll wind run and she'll be fine. Cause wind run lasts a little bit longer. So yeah. Whoever uses first loses. Winter Rifle's annoying because you can't kill people in his shell that easily. If he's on your team, he can save your ass because of the amount of health you have. Witch Actor is pretty annoying to play against because if he gets his maledict on you at the start of a fight, you die. Zeus, most damage in the entire game, so be very careful when playing him. Get a BKB, jump on him first. That will be it. I'm sorry, this video is a goddamn damn hour and a half, hour long. I had no idea it was gonna be this long, but I guess what you get. This is the most comprehensive guide on Huskar you're probably ever gonna see. I have at least one of every single hero. Some of them very briefly for literally a second, but it's every single hero that's worth talking about. I talked about. Thank you guys for watching.